What's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. It's the 6th of May. It's early where I am. Well, it's 9 a.m. I think I'm Central Time, or Mountain Time. I don't know where I am. At any rate, I'm in the middle of the desert on what's considered an extremely difficult trail. And while I'm driving and trying to keep from tipping over my vehicle because I'm alone, I can't help but think of all the people that I've run into. Now, where I'm at right now, there's a large gathering, and a lot of the guys that are there know me from the forums, and they know my truck. And when they see me, it's, oh, there's that conspiracy theory guy. Yeah. Let me explain something to you, fellas. I was exactly like everyone else until one day a light switch went off. It amazes me that people think that there's no problem with the national debt rising by $1 trillion per month. Every 30 days, our national debt goes up $1 trillion. It's staggering. It's staggering, and no one seems to have an issue with it. Nobody seems to care that our government, our Senate, our House of Reps, repealed. They overturned the 𝗦𝗵𝗿𝗱 Act. The 𝗦𝗵𝗿𝗱 Act prevented the United States government from using propaganda against the American people. They overturned that. So now they can use it, and there's no law against it. These people aren't stupid. They're screwing us over big time. They're basically robbing the United States and all of its citizens and changing the laws so that if anything ever does occur, they can't be prosecuted. Our national debt is mathematically unpayable. Our money isn't backed by gold. They just continue to print paper notes. And the collateral for all of this, whether you want to believe it or not, it's a very simple thing to research. The collateral is us. Your Social Security number is traded on the stock market. Don't believe it? Look it up. If you think that everything we talk about is absolutely ludicrous and laughable, back in the 60s, we went to the moon, according to them. Numerous times we walked on the moon, we did this and that on the moon, and we did it all with the technology of a calculator. And yet, we don't go back to the moon ever, and NASA's own astronaut, Don Pettit, has come out publicly and said, we can't go back to the moon because we lost all the telemetry data, and it would be too difficult to do it again. And then on the other hand, they continue to tell the American people, no problem, that we're going to Mars and we're going to inhabit Mars. Even though for my entire life, they've told us that Mars is absolutely hostile to anything living. It's poison, it'll kill you. It's no good for anybody. But now, we're going to Mars, but we never go back to the moon, and nobody thinks a thing of it. In the United States, food, almost exclusively all of it now, is genetically modified, and nobody seems to have an issue with it. Other countries, including Russia, have banned the use of genetically modified food. There's no need in the world for anybody at all whatsoever to modify or mess with the genetic makeup of the food that God created. And yet that's what they're doing. And no one seems to have an issue with it. They've put fluoride in the water for years and told everybody it was for your own good. It's for your teeth. Fluoride is a byproduct of making aluminum, Alcoa. Alcoa is the one that tricked everybody into dumping toxic waste into our water supply. And just these few things off the top of my head. I have to deal with this right now. That's the trail out. Any one of these things you can earnestly, honestly research. It'll only take 10-15 minutes, but I guarantee once you start, you won't stop. The only thing is you can't use the mainstream media and you can't use Google. You can go to Scientific America. You can go to whitehouse.gov. There's a variety of places you can find out real information if you want to. But you won't do it, will you? Do you know why? Because if you start looking into this, then you'll be a conspiracy theorist. 50 years ago, someone like myself would be somebody that was well-read and researched. Nowadays, thanks to movies, television, music, mainstream, everything you hear, see, and say, I'm a conspiracy theorist. And the funniest part is, most of you just voted for a guy that says the same things I did. Trump said 9/11 was bombs. It wasn't an airplane. Trump said Obama didn't have a birth certificate. But I digress.